Freeride mountain biking is one of the fastest growing sports on two wheels. Riders cover a set course and are judged on various criteria. Points are awarded for speed and style and for the creativity and difficulty of the line they take. The Freeride Mountain Biking World Tour was established in 2010 and comprises 39 events. This year the tour held competitions in 14 different countries, and 5 of the top 10 riders were from North America. Over the coming years, 22-year-old Englishman Matt Jones is aiming to challenge the North American dominance of the tour. He began his professional riding career in 2013 and has risen through the ranks to establish himself as the UK's leading competitor on the tour. We caught up with Matt at his home in the English county of Buckinghamshire.
So this here is my local trail spot, where I discovered the love for mountain biking, what it is to ride bikes and actually to build jumps. This is where I learnt that back when I was like 9 years old or even 10 years old. We were already putting spades in the ground, learning to dig jumps, and since then, over the last 12 years, I guess, the jumps have just got bigger and better, and as you can see, they're pretty awesome now, and this is where I still ride.
However, on the day of our visit, the conditions weren't good for riding outdoors. Recent heavy rain had made the ground too wet. On a drier day, Matt can be found flying through the air, performing any number of breathtaking moves. Known for his effortless style and variety of tricks, Matt has become a respected figure on the mountain bike scene. He's dedicated to his training and is fortunate to live a short ride from one of the UK's best mountain bike parks in Woburn Sands. Matt lives at home with his parents.
Morning. Hi, Matt. All good, thanks. I've got some dates figured out. So, 26 tricks is in June, followed by both crankworks, so I'm going to be away pretty much all of June.
Matt's competitive nature stems from growing up riding bikes alongside his twin brother Jono. As they graduated from BMX bikes to mountain bikes, the brothers moved into different disciplines, and Jono is now a downhill racer.
Well, I think it's a part of being twin boys. I think naturally they've always been quite kind of feisty and out there and quite rough and tumble. But I think what really pushed them forward was this just competitiveness.
Our family's just been like essential for me, for getting me to where I am. They just put up with me wanting to ride my bike, and then when we started going to races and kind of wanted to do contests, they were just happy to load up the car and take a weekend to let me do that, really.
We started looking at what he could do, and he was quite keen to do a few BMX races. But then we discovered four-cross, and that really opened the gate to competition.
And actually they became like family weekends, because the four-cross community, you know, you got to know all the other families, all the other children, and there was competitiveness there, obviously, but they were good fun weekends.
It was just a bit of fun back then, but the fact that they allowed me to like facilitate that fun and make a career out of it is just so cool. Really stoked to have their support.
I remember people would often say to me when he wasn't going to university and when he didn't appear to be leaving at 8:30 to catch the train somewhere, well, what is he doing? And I would say, well, he's he's riding his bike, you know, and it always sounded so kind of crazy. But then the day came where I said, no, he is a professional cyclist.
Since making his debut as a professional 3 years ago, Matt has travelled the world and pushed his riding ability to the limit. His skills have attracted a growing army of fans across the globe. When he's back home in England's cold and wet winter months, Matt often heads to Adrenaline Alley, Europe's largest indoor skate park.
Corby skate park's like an hour drive from my house, and it is such a good place just for learning stuff. They've got a resi ramp and a foam pit where you can just basically land on your head and figure out a trick, which is pretty dangerous. And I've got a bit of background of gymnastics to help me land on my feet, but having a foam pit where anything can happen is so important, because some tricks just are a mystery until you start trying them. So that's been massive, having that close by and to get me doing these tricks that I need to be doing.
Every season, the risk and skill levels required to win high-profile competitions increases. In his relatively short career, Matt has noticed a real shift in the rider's approach.
When I grew up watching mountain biking, and especially freestyle and slopestyle comps, it just seemed that it was all about how big your balls were, basically. If you were a bit nuts and you just wanted to go for it, you're going to do well. They just wanted to see the most crazy tricks, whether you land them or not. And in the last sort of 2 years, I've definitely seen riders having to take a real proper athlete approach. So it's really changed, to be honest, and I'm quite excited about that, because it's becoming like the Olympic mentality that you have to be the best you can be to make it happen.
It was this Olympic mentality that helped Matt secure his biggest win to date at this year's Colorado Freeride Festival. His flawless run cemented his position within the mountain bike slopestyle elite. But perhaps more importantly, it's given him the belief that he can win at the very highest level.
It was a really stacked field, that event. We had Nikolai Rogatkin there, who won the World Tour this year. Brett Reeder won the most premium event of the year, Red Bull Joyride, and yeah, somehow managed to beat those guys, which for me is just like, I can't describe it. Those guys are the ones that I look up to and think are just bosses, and there was me like looking down on them on the podium. So yeah, unbelievable. So moving forward, just having the knowledge that I can beat them is super valuable.
These are exciting times for Matt Jones. He's automatically qualified for all Gold Star events on the 2017 Freestyle Mountain Bike World Tour. And if he can continue to progress, the 22-year-old appears poised to remain at the top of his sport for many years to come.